result.
It's not productive, given the history of U.S.-Iranian relations, to be seen as meddling, the U.S. president meddling in Iranian elections.
The former U.S. Secretary of State and National Security Advisor, Dr. Henry Kissinger, has long argued for a high-level dialogue between the United States and Iran. He's been speaking to my colleague, Gavin Esler.
Dr. Kissinger, what do you make of the events in Iran this week? Are we at some kind of turning point for the Islamic Republic, do you think?
In some sense, I think it is a turning point, regardless who finally prevails among the two presidential candidates. It is the first time that there have been massive demonstrations that deal with the structure, or at least with the election results in the Islamic Republic. And it's the first time that the supreme leader has had to back up in the face of public demonstrations.
How do you think President Obama is doing in handling this, effectively expressing concern but saying, we, America, will not meddle?
Well, I think he is doing the right thing. Anybody who has followed President Obama's career and public statements knows and even his recent Cairo speech knows that he's on the side of democracy, free elections, free speech, and he indeed has said that on several occasions. He has not made a direct appeal inside Iran because he did not want to jeopardize, I believe, the side that by every instinct he would favor.
I just wondered how dangerous, though, you think this could be, an unstable Iran, given where it is, given where its neighbors are.
Of course, if there were a prolonged period of domestic turmoil, and if this would lead to the possibility inside Iran of forming these non-state organizations that intervene in affairs abroad, that would be a very unpleasant situation. The chaos in Iran is certainly not to be desired. The impact of what is happening now will linger in the minds of both the governed and in the minds of the rulers, assuming the Ayatollah regime continues, which I personally think is the more likely outcome.
What I was going to say is the implication of that you think regime change is simply not a viable American policy in the 21st century in terms of Iran?
No. I think regime change can be supported by the United States, or can be wished for by the United States. I think when the United States attempts regime change by its own actions and becomes a principal party to the regime change, that it has usually backfired. I am sure that Americans would favor the emergence from the present situation of a truly popularly based government. And it is very appropriate for the president to make clear that that is what he favors. Now, if it turns out that it is not possible for a government to emerge in Iran that can deal with itself as a nation rather than as a cause, and then we have a different situation. Then we may conclude that we must work for regime change in Iran from the outside. But if I understand the president correctly, he does not want to do this as a visible intervention in the current crisis.
Dr. Kissinger, thank you very much.